Hello. um so this time I'm going to start the podcast by starting the podcast by introing the podcast by welcoming you instead of just ranting for an hour and then realizing at the end, "Oh, I haven't even said what we're doing. I haven't even said what this is." And this is Happy Thoughts with me, Ethan Rink. Okay, so this is my little podcast. This is my space and place, my corner of the internet, where I talk about things that make me happy, where I manifest some positive energy if I want. Not always. But today we're gonna be chilling. We're gonna be chilling with a very interesting topic to discuss that I actually have some input from you guys. So today we are going to be talking about what makes a good artist, specifically music artist. And I asked my Instagram this question and I got a lot of very exciting responses that gave me a lot of insight. So I'm very excited to go through that with you. But first, I want to take a moment and update you on some things that have been going on. Okay, some things that I've been obsessing over because you do be knowing that I obsess. End of story. So, first, very important. I have been trying to watch more movies that I missed. So, older movies. Older meaning like 2000s era movies. Let's not get crazy. But cuz if you know me, and you might know me enough or you might know me a lot to know that I love movies and I watch pretty much every movie that comes out that has any notability and anything that's going to get Oscar buzz, anything that it looks like I enjoy. I have multiple movie club subscriptions, so I see movies quite a lot. And I started watching movies a lot in like, I don't know, 2017 or so. But I have some gaps in my watch history from, years before that. And I filled in two essential gaps recently, and I just want to talk about them for just a second, okay? Okay. So first, I need to talk about Bring It On. I was on a flight going to Las Vegas for work, and I didn't have any movies downloaded. I didn't have anything downloaded. Um, and I have free Wi-Fi on the flight, but it was not really like doing a lot. Okay, so I tried to stream Scream 5 so I could watch Mikey Madison turn it out as she does, but I could not because it would not play. So I had to select a film, if you will. I had to select a film from the library of free movies on the flight. Okay, and there was quite a few stinkers, a lot of flops, a lot of uh, blockbuster films, of which I am not that interested in. Okay. But they did have something. Bring It On. And I brought it. And they brought it. They brought it on that flight. I had never seen Bring It On, and I know there's like seven. Never seen any of them until a few days ago. And wow. I mean, in the first 3 minutes, that first scene in Bring It On, I was like, all right, like this is about to be incredible. From the first opening moment, I knew that I was in for a treat. And it was a huge treat. I will say I only gave it 3.5 stars out of 5 on my Letterboxd. Follow if you have Letterboxd. Um, I only gave it 3.5 out of 5 because the romance element of that movie is so bad. It's so sloppy. It's so sloppy. It's terrible. I hate it. Um, if that was removed, the movie would be so much better. It would definitely be a 4-star if that was removed. Um, and if the two main girls ended up together, it would be a 5-star movie. Because I'm convinced they're in love. And I know the internet shares this opinion, and I think it is the correct opinion. So, with that said, it was incredible. Missy, need her in more films. That actress, I don't even know who she is. She's been in like 3 things. Kristen Dunst, love you. Have always loved you. And also, I thought the story was so ahead of its time. If you know, you know. I just thought it was so like. I'm surprised a movie like that was made in the 2000s. Not surprised, but just like we didn't see a lot of media representation like that, and they ate down. I really liked the dance numbers. They were not cheerleading numbers. There ain't no way that was actual official cheerleading choreography. No. But were they fun? Yes. Yeah, genuinely was shocked by how much I enjoyed it. Really good. Sorry I hadn't seen it until now. And what else did I want to say? I don't remember. Missy is literally just the coolest girl I've ever seen. Coolest girl ever in a movie. Sorry. Yeah. So I definitely want to watch the third one. Bring It On, All or Nothing. Is that what it's called? It has Peyton Pinetti or something. Penne Pasta Peyton. I don't know what her name is. The girl from Scream 4 and Scream 6 and Until Dawn is in, I think, the third one. So I want to watch that one for sure because I love her, even though I can't remember her name, and I just called her Penne Pasta. So, okay. So the other piece of media that I caught up on recently that I need to discuss with you quickly is Sucker Punch. Okay. This movie, it's again from the 2000s. It's a movie that was critically appalled. I don't know what the opposite of acclaimed is. It was not critically acclaimed. It was critically hated. Every critic hated it so much. And now it's kind of becoming a cult classic, and I could see why. It is absolutely wild. There is no movie like it on this earth. I would compare it to Scott Pilgrim, sort of, if it was like more women empowerment and also fighting. I don't know. It is one of the craziest movies ever, but it's so interesting. It's so interesting. It looks amazing. The acting, the cast is insane. Insane. We have the most beautiful girl in the world, Emily Browning, from A Series of Unfortunate Events, the movie. The most beautiful girl that's ever lived. And I'm confident with that. I'm confident saying that. She is the most beautiful woman that has ever existed. I need her to have a renaissance so badly. I need the Jennifer Coolidge treatment for her. Her and Miranda Cosgrove need to star in something together as sisters. Okay, hear me out. I don't know what it is, probably a horror or something, but that needs to happen, and they just need to come back full force because they are both amazing. But Emily Browning especially is the lead in Sucker Punch, and she was the entire reason why I wanted to watch the movie, and I'm glad because she is so beautiful. Also, we've got the mom from Spy Kids and Hill House, and she's also the mom in Lisa Frankenstein. Can't remember her name. Love her so much. The guy from Moon Knight, Is that who it is? I've never watched Moon Knight. He's super popular. I can't remember his name or anything he's been in. But he's like the main villain guy. And then we've also got Vanessa Hudgens. I almost called her Veronica. Vanessa Hudgens of High School Musical. Hello. And we've also got Jenna Malone. Is that her name? Gosh, I hope, because I'll sound so smart if I'm right. Jenna Malone, she's in Hunger Games as Joanna Mason, Tree Girl, in the second movie, and third and fourth. And then she's also in Donnie Darko. She's also in my favorite movie of all time, The Neon Demon. Anyway, so yeah, it was a star-studded cast, and it was incredible. Very weird. I watched the extended cut, and that is the only version that everyone likes. Everyone agrees that's the only version you need to watch, so if you're going to watch it, watch that version. Okay, moving on. I don't know if you've noticed, but very timely to the topic of discussion today, there's been a lot of music released recently, and thank God. But I just quickly need to make sure that you are aware of some of these releases. I'm guessing you probably know about Conan Gray's new song because I've been posting about it nonstop. And also because a lot of people watching this video are probably going to be new people that joined from my video. Hi, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I made a vlog where I visited some of the spots from Conan Gray's new music video for his song, This Song. And it is now my best performing video, non-music video. I think it has 5,000 views now. It has like 500 likes, 100 and something comments, and I've gotten a decent amount of subscribers from that video. Thank you so much. I had genuinely so much fun making that video, but I was like, I'll throw it up, but like it's not gonna do well at all. I was convinced that it had flopped. I genuinely was like, this flopped so hard. But I'm glad that it did not, and I'm glad that hopefully a lot of you are still here watching my stuff and that you enjoy all my other stuff just as much. But that video was a lot of fun to make, and I've got a lot more vlogs coming soon, so get excited. But listen to Conan's song, This Song, if you haven't already. It's so good, even though you probably have, and you probably already are aware of it. We need to talk about Miley Cyrus. Full disclosure, I have not finished my listen through of the album yet. I only have listened to the first like 5 songs, but they're so good. I need to see the rest. Well, there is a movie. I want to see the movie of the album. I need to finish my listen of the album, but it's an album that is, I can already tell it's so good that I'm not just going to casually put it on and like listen to the rest. And I haven't sat down and listened to music intently. And so yeah, so I've just been listening to Addison Rae's album on repeat because there is no substance in that one. And so let's talk about it. Addison Rae, the Addison Rae of TikTok. Yes. She released her album Addison, and she is trying to come for Madonna's gig. And while no one can, Madonna will die one day. And at that point, I will be willing to give Addison Madonna's place as dance pop, fashion, girly Vogue. I don't know how to describe her, but her music is so, it feels so 2000s, specifically Madonna 2000s, with a modern twist. Of course, there's still some modern influences as well, but this album was so good. I mean, for a debut album, I don't know what more we could ask for pop-wise. I mean, it's pop. You're going to like it or you're going to hate it. I love it. It's so good. I just listened to it again today when I was cleaning my room, and it just is so fun. It's so fun. It's so cohesive. The songs are interesting. The production is interesting. I love it. Easy to listen to. Will probably be in my top 10 of the year. I know. And the other album, this album is a little bit older, but I don't think I've talked about it before, so I need to just give it a mention while we're talking about all this music. Gigi Perez. She released an album called, let me look at my notes, At the Beach in Every Life. Okay? Gigi Perez, if you are not familiar, is a woman who sings Sailor Song, who most people thought was a man, including me. But I saw Gigi open for Girl in Red a few months ago, and my jaw was on the floor. And this new album is spectacular. It's very Sailor Song-esque. It's her own kind of acoustic genre. All the songs are very similar. Just they're very stylistically her. Absolutely incredible album. I did buy it on vinyl. It hasn't gotten here yet. It comes out in like a few weeks on vinyl. I'm so excited. It's going to go triple platinum in my room, and that will for sure be in my top 10, probably my top 3 albums of the year. I'm almost confident saying it'll be my top album of the year, but I'm, leaving space for the rest of the year. So, but it's so good, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore because you just need to go experience it. So, anyway, that's all that I wanted to catch up on. So now let's talk about what we're actually here to do, okay? What makes a good music artist? Okay, I asked my Instagram this question, and I have a lot of things that I'd like to say. First off being, I kind of gave some example categories. Like I said, what makes a good music artist? And then like there was a box to leave your answer. But I gave them some prompts like, is it lyrics? Is it production? Is it vocal ability? Is it identity? Is it creative like uniqueness? Is it identity of like look and style of art and like, release structure, blah, 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 blah. There's so many things. I gave some examples so that I could help, get the gears turning. But the answers were very enlightening. And I wanted to start by talking about what were the 2 most said answers. So number 1 by far was lyrics. Okay, and this is, let's just get into it. So lyrics was by far the number 1, and I wanted to read something that someone wrote in. They said, lyrics are definitely the most important to me. If I can't relate to something, what's the point? Okay, and thank you for your input. So that to me is very interesting, and I immediately thought of something that I heard somewhere, and I don't know where. So if you've also heard this and you know where you heard this, please comment below because I would like to know. But it's something I've heard, and I've taken some like songwriting courses, and I've, watched movies about people that make music. So maybe it's from something of that, or maybe it's just something that it's like everyone knows this. I don't know. But I've heard people say when it comes to lyrics, the more specific to you that you write, the more likely they are to become relatable. That's me putting it in my own words. But the more specific you get with your lyrics, the more personal to you, the somehow more universally relatable they become. Which sounds absolutely crazy. Because if you're like writing about a very specific and putting specific detail, personal detail, and personal specifics into your song lyrics, you'd think that would isolate a larger audience because it would be so specific to you that no one will even understand what you're talking about, let alone relate to it. Somehow that's not the case, and I guess I don't think of any examples, but like I trust that it's true. And that just goes to what this person wrote, and it's like, okay, lyrics and sort of beyond lyrics, it's like it's about lyric relatability for at least this person. And relating to the music is what's most important to them. You can agree, disagree. I agree sometimes. I love some songs because of the lyrics are so specific to what I'm feeling or even what I want to feel. So I can totally see how that comes into play. It's not always at play, but it is sometimes. And definitely thinking about like my own songs, the ones that are my favorite from my discography are likely the ones that I like the lyrics the best. So my favorite songs in my discography are definitely the ones that I think are lyrically the strongest. And in the same coin, so yes, lyrics, we love lyrics, I love lyrics, but I also think somehow lyrics are least important to me. Who said that? No, I said that. Let me just listen. When I was growing up, uh I live in Texas. I moved from Ohio. And right after I moved from Ohio, my best friend from Ohio became obsessed with K-pop. This was in 2010, so quite a long time ago. Way before it was cool. um anyway, so I got very into K-pop when I moved here to Texas. And in fact, it really was the only music that I listened to on my own free will. I remember going to church camp in like 2013 and everyone singing Dark Horse by Katy Perry in the bus, every word. I had never heard it before in my life. And that's when I started to realize, oh, I have been completely in a vacuum of only listening to foreign music and I don't know what's on the radio right now. Anyway, that whole tangent to say, when you listen to K-pop, unless you know Korean, so when you listen to K-pop as an American, probably, when I listen to K-pop, I don't know what they're saying, because I don't understand the language, sadly, because it would just be so cool to know multiple languages. But anyway, I don't know what they're saying, and that did not stop me from trying to memorize the lyrics, questionably, but also from enjoying all of the songs. And the songs were good in my opinion, and I had no idea what they were saying. So for me, as much as I spend a lot of time in my own songs on lyrics, it's like something that I really don't care about that much in my day to day. But see, it's all double-sided. It's all flip-floppy, because it's also like some of my favorite songs ever are the ones where the lyrics resonate with me. And yet somehow I also could not care about the lyrics at all and love a song just as much. So I don't know what the tea is there, but I just thought that was funny. I was like, oh yeah, lyrics. And sometimes I listen to music where I don't understand what they're saying at all, and I don't care. And I love it, and I post it on my story. So I don't know what that is supposed to mean, but so lyrics was the thing that was most voted on by far. Second most voted on by far was, how did I word it? Hang on. Identity. Okay, and this was said in multiple different kind of ways and answers, but at the basis of what everything was, it was about artist identity, originality, uniqueness, etc., etc. So to me, like, I think about lyrics being honest and authentic, and your musical style standing out, and your overall look and aesthetic being original. Some examples of people that I think have some very creative and original identities in music are David Bowie, of course, and recent ones, Charlie XCX, honestly, Chappell Roan, Melanie Martinez. Let's talk about some of these really quickly. Charlie XCX. To me, her identity is very specific, especially with most recent Project Brat. The identity of that project is so specific, it's so clear. The aesthetic is so honed. And even her lyrically, she's very original. And her songwriting is very specific to her. you can tell if a song is written by Charlie XCX, even if it's not a Charlie XCX song. For example, Selena Gomez's new song, Bluest, Bluest Flame. Let's try. Yeah, Bluest Flame. As soon as I heard that song, I was like, oh, Charlie XCX wrote this song. And she did. Because she has a unique identity. Senorita is not exactly that way, probably because of the production, but if you think about Charlie XCX singing that song, you can hear old Charlie XCX in it. But everything on Brat, her production, her lyrical structure, her songwriting structure is so original to her sound. Her music videos, all of the rollouts, everything that she did for the Brat era, it's all so uniquely her and so on brand for her. So her identity is, super strong. It's a little more subtle because she's not doing like, David Bowie and Chappell Roan are like in, full beat, face mug. Chappell's like doing drag basically. But I want to talk about Chappell because, part of the reason I think she's blown up so quickly is because her identity is so strong. Her music sounds unique. And now other artists, are releasing songs that sound like Chappell Roan music. So it's almost like Chappell came onto the scene and, invented her own new subgenre of like pop music. And now songs are going to start being like, oh, this sounds like a Chappell Roan song. It's the identity. It's the original identity at play. And of course, in her look, in her stage performances, in her set design, in her music videos, in her album art, all of it is very on brand for her, her specific thing, her face, even her looks on runways. She knows exactly who she is, and we love it. We love it, we love it, we love it, we love it. I love it. And then who else did I say? Oh, Melanie Martinez. Great example of a really unique and special identity in a music artist. She's got her childlike wonder with a dark twist. That's kind of her aesthetic. It's bright, it's colorful, it's dreamy, but it's also a nightmare. That was so ugly and so cheesy, and I hated that. But it's true. Her music is very it sounds kind of like children's music, sort of. And in the themes that she writes about dark and deep subject matter, but using terms that are evocative of childhood and playtime. And, if you know her songs, so you know what I'm talking about. And then again with her aesthetic is so well defined and unique to her. When you're listening to a Melanie Martinez song, when you're looking at something inspired by my Melanie Martinez. There are photo shoots done that have nothing to do with music, nothing to do with Melanie, that you can see how, the 2010s aesthetic of like doll aesthetic was popularized by her. And you can see her influence everywhere, even if it's not just in music, which it also is. One thing that I would like to say, Bella Porsche, if you're familiar with her music and her, again, TikTok career, to me, she is someone born out of a Melanie Martinez aesthetic. Love her music, by the way. Hello. But yeah, so those are just some examples that came to mind when I was thinking of, really strong identity. And David Bowie, again, he's like kind of the father of extreme musical identity. So he just was so, I can't even rant about it. You need to watch the movie Moonage Daydream if you're interested in learning more about David Bowie and his aesthetic and his identity as an artist. He is forever the inspo. He is forever the blueprint for someone that wants to have a really unique look, sound, feel, and be defined by authenticity first in everything they do. Honestly, when I was thinking about identity, this is something that I think I do. I do very well. I think it might be my strong suit in my career as a music artist. I just would like to think that when I'm working on a project, I know exactly how I want it to look pretty much from day one. The visuals, the album art, the music videos, everything, the way that I'm dressed. I know exactly how I want everything to look from day one. From the moment that the project is starting to be conceptualized, I know what is going on visually. I know how it fits into my identity as a music artist. And I would like to think that I've done some kind of unique projects. My EP, Violent Crimes, which was all love songs inspired by horror movies. I mean, do I need to say anything more? Iconic. And honestly, so original. And I recreated a bunch of movie posters, like, as myself for my Instagram and stuff like that. Check it out. If you have not listened to that EP, Halloween's coming up. Listen to it on Halloween, I guess. But that EP is so original. It's so unique. The identity of that project is so strong. Even the sound of the music is so unique and strong. And sure, I took inspo from other places. Sure, everything is actually based on a movie, so there's like, pieces that I pulled from other places. But the unique identity comes in when you take those pieces pulled from other things and you make it your own. And that's exactly what I did. I wrote these songs using quotes sometimes from these movies, but I weaved them in a way that told a story about my life. And to me, I'm the blueprint. No, but honestly, I think that's something in my music career I've done very well so far, to the best of my ability, is creating an artist identity. It's always a constant, we're always evolving and getting better, and we don't always do as good every time on things, but it's a process, and I'm very happy with how my identity has come across as a music artist, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. I'll talk more about that later, but I need to look at my notes. Yes, okay, I wanted to mention something that someone wrote in around identity. They said, creativity and being willing to stick to your ideals as an artist, even if it's at the cost of being mainstream. I did not say that super well, but I'm not going to read it again because I'm lazy. But you get the idea. Basically, they're saying a good music artist is someone that puts their creativity and their ideas before being mainstream, getting mainstream success. Hi, Charlie XX literally talked about that. She said, I don't know if I deserve commercial success. It's running through my mind. Anyway, yeah, but to that person that said that, love that, and it's so true. Rings true for me. As hard as it is, because you want commercial success, you want to become mainstream, especially if you're indie and underground like me. Hi, I would love to get that fat paycheck. But yeah, ultimately it's more impressive to keep your ideals at the forefront of your work and your art at the cost of possibly being the next Taylor Swift. But see, that's the thing, is that really, in theory, when you are able to when you're able to effectively execute your passion project, that's when you become mainstream, because that's what people want anyway. People don't want no identity and just good music. That's Ava Max, and she's stuck in the Kia asylum. And even though I have been recently called the owner and king of the Kia asylum, I would like to get out. But yeah, I think once you're able to actually put the most of yourself into your art is the day that you will blow up. And of course, it has to be good. It has to be done effectively. It has to be executed effectively. But if you are able to effectively execute your passion, honey, that's it. That's it. You're blowing up tomorrow. You're headlining Coachella next week. Easier said than done. Obviously, because then I would have already done it. So my biggest takeaway, I have a couple more things that I want to say about this. My biggest takeaway from reading the things that you guys wrote in was, first of all, almost everyone wrote a combination of things. So pretty much no one said lyrics. Almost no one said vocal ability. Almost no one said originality. What everyone said was a mix of things. So 2 things. They said a good music artist is vocal ability and originality. Vocal ability and lyrics. Lyrics and dancing. Performance and lyrical ability. Everyone's answer was 2 things, a different combination of things. And everyone's answer was completely different. Not one person said the exact same thing combination wise, like literally no one. It was all over the place. So that tells me a couple of things that I want to talk about. First, as we already know, but it bears repeating, it should be overstated. Music, and by extension art itself, is so subjective because we can't even agree on what makes a good artist, because even good art, the concept of good art is so subjective. So here is my decree that I would like to stop engaging in internet discourse of bringing the girls down. I mean, literally Twitter all the time is just people being like, this person sucks, this person's the best, this person blah, like pitting everyone against each other. Hate. Please, can we stop? And the call is coming from inside the house. You guys stop when I stop. But yeah, so like, why are we even fighting? Because it's a never-ending fight. We will never agree on these things, and how magical that we don't get to agree. That's amazing. That's what makes art cool, is that everyone's going to perceive it differently. And that also makes a case for, we need your art. People say that all the time. But what I mean by that is, you can be successful as an artist because there is someone out there waiting for your combination of skills and talents to manifest into a piece of art, whatever that is. Because there's a bunch of people in my DMs that want a specific combination of things, and that's who their favorite artist is going to be. So you as an artist will be someone's favorite because you will be that unique combination of skills, combination of point of view, etc., 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 etc. The other thing that I wanted to say about that was how interesting it is that we are combining a couple of different things, which is why I think, a common fight is Beyonce versus Taylor Swift. And this one irks me the most because they are so different. I don't know why we're obsessed with comparing them, because Beyonce and Taylor Swift don't do the same thing, like at all, or even close. So yeah, that's really weird. But yeah, I can see how all these fights start, because if we could just say, oh, well, the most important thing is lyrics, well, Taylor Swift's gonna win. But then if we're like, oh, the most important thing is performance, well, Beyonce is gonna win. Oh, the most important thing is vocal ability, oh, Ariana's gonna win. Or Miley. Hello. That woman opens her mouth and you know exactly who she is. That's a whole side note, though. I can't even, exactly from the moment she goes, the first breath she takes and the first note that comes out of her mouth, that is Miley Ray Cyrus. That is Miss Hannah Montana. Anyway, my point is, everyone in my DMs when I asked this question answered with more than one thing, which means we really need to stop even trying to come to a conclusion, because y'all can't even pick one thing. Y'all can't even pick one thing is the best. So let all the girls be good at what they're good at, and then be good. And that leads me into something else that someone wrote in, which was, we need to step away from the thought that artists need to encompass all of these things in order to be considered good. Yeah. Yeah. A good artist is not someone, a good music artist is not someone who writes good lyrics, composes amazing music, has amazing vocal talent, is an incredible singer, or dancer is what I meant to say. I already said singer. Has amazing stage presence, has amazing fashion taste, is super unique and original. That person will never exist. I don't think they'll exist ever, and I don't think they have existed. You can fight me in the comments, but I don't think there has ever been someone that has truly been 100% the best at every aspect of making music. And so let's stop having that conversation, because that's what happens all day on Twitter is people say, well, Beyonce is not a very good lyricist. Well, Taylor Swift's not a very good dancer. Well, Ariana Grande is not original. I don't know. I'm making some of these things up. But the point is, it's like, let's stop expecting everyone to be the best at everything, even if they are multi-million-dollar artists getting Grammys, whatever. You don't have to be the best at everything. Be the best at what you do. And that's the only metric, really, that we should be comparing the girls at. And not even comparing, it's about individual artists. It's like, well, I didn't like this album as much as their last one, or I loved this album way more than their last one. Like, let's just keep it in the artist lane. You know what I mean? Because why are we trying to hold them to every single aspect? It's crazy, and it probably drives them insane when they see comments after getting a Grammy about like, oh, well, they're so awkward, like their stage presence is stale, their vocal performance, they sounded like blah, 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 like they use too much autotune. They probably lose sleep at night because they can never satisfy us. So let's just remember that they don't need to be good at everything. And if we could let that go, they probably would just get better, because then they would stop worrying about trying to check off every single box of being a good artist. Yeah. So that was my biggest takeaway, was just like how many different combinations of aspects of songwriting, of music performance, etc. How many different combinations everyone sent in. There's really just do the thing that you do well, and, you know, pick up some extra skills if you can, of course, but don't stress about being the best at everything, and don't hold other people to that, because you don't want to be held up to that, and we shouldn't be doing that anyway, because then it's just going to kill all of the space for the best art to manifest itself. So with that, I want to talk about my next music project very briefly. You're not going to get a lot of spoilers, so don't get excited. But I just wanted to say that I'm very excited about my next music project, because it is by far the most proud I have been. It's not even done yet, and it's already the most proud I've been of a body of work. And I'm not thinking about, is it going to be good? Or I'm trying my hardest not to think about that. Because also, like I just laid out, that is subjective anyway. And it's a combination of things for other people. And so no matter what I do, someone will dislike it and someone will love it. Great. But what I'm really focusing on for this next project is that I think it's good. I like it, and that I'm proud of it. And I am already. And I'm going to continue to execute it effectively. And that's how I know it's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited. I can't wait for you to hear it in many months. Something is coming soon. So get excited. more details at a later date. But yeah, my next project is by far, and I spent a lot of time on lyrics. I specifically focused on lyrics for this next project. I've spent a lot of time on identity, vocal performance. I mean, sounds pretty good to me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I've been trying to shut down the idea of making this project as good as possible, making it go viral, XYZ, throwing all of that away, and just trying to make it my favorite. And we'll see. Maybe, hopefully, that will prove the theory right, that if you just stay as true to yourself as possible, the audience will find you. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. So, what do you think makes a good music artist? Comment below. Like, subscribe. Girl. They always say that. And I'm like, we know. We've been on YouTube since we were 9 years old. We know about the like button. We know about the subscribe button. Like we know. We don't need a reminder. But like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe, please. Please. Anyway, this has been Happy Thoughts. I'm Ethan. If you have not watched my Conan Gray vlog, please go watch that. Let's make the algorithm push it again. But I will see you next week on Sunday, every Sunday. Follow me on Instagram because that's where I will post about if I'm not posting a video on here. But until then, let me know in the comments also what you would like to hear from me about, what you would like to talk about. And I'm going to be posting some more questions for you guys to answer on my story on Instagram. So again, if you're not following me on there, please go follow so you can be a part of the conversation. I would love to hear from you. But have a great week. I don't know how to end these, so goodbye.